Beveridge is a writer, editor, and radio producer who has contributed to a variety of media outlets, including Mental Floss, Gotham Gazette, NYC's The Brian Lehrer Show, East Village Radio, and Mr. Feller's Neighborhood.
So, I had a birthday this summer. One of those landmark months with a big 0 at the end of it. A time to reflect on making dubious career choices, ending a relationship while everyone else is pairing up, living in the wondrous and ridiculous community of New York. I could have indulged in a number of vices leading up to the big 30. Binge on booze or sex, dye my hair, or something rash like sign up for a master's degree program. Instead, I chose pure juicing. Specifically, a 3-day detox program from Organic Avenue, a posh institution that ethereal New Yorkers and even a few celebrities adore. The idea of a renewal was very appealing, and an online coupon made it affordable. Much cheaper than grad school. I kept my juice plans somewhat under wraps. My parents worried a bit. My dad talked a lot about drinking lemonade with his lunch, maybe in solidarity. A couple of friends winced, while those already in the detox know, they give a knowing nod and a gentle smile of encouragement. This was a new level of food and drink consciousness, even for me. I'm vegetarian, but I eat fish. Sorry. But just a little one. I'd never met a vegetarian before college, and then I went and became one. Sure, being a vegan would be better for the environment, but it just didn't seem sustainable. Sophomore year, the militant vegan on my hall brought a vegetarian friend to tears for daring to eat dairy. A year later, I saw him wearing a black leather jacket, devouring chicken wings in a snack bar. I guess it wasn't sustainable for him either. I'm one of those farmers market mavens who has a favorite strawberry vendor and flirts just a bit with one of the farm stand guys. He has great zucchini. I'm not all about natural food, though. I'll wash down my zucchini, tempeh, and quinoa creation with a beer, and sometimes a cupcake chaser. I thought this reset would be good for me, though, so I dove into what would become 3 days of radical juice cleansing. And from the moment that first chlorophyll potion stained my lips green, I joined a subculture dedicated to the intake of vegetables and the removal of toxins, sipping my way to salvation. Each morning would bring a shiny box of mysterious juices and tonics. In stout glass bottles, they looked kind of like giant baby food. Before I popped open each new one, I read the ingredients and thought of all the poor celery stalks, cucumbers, and spinach leaves that were sacrificed for this ritual. How did they taste? Well, sort of how they looked. Green. Swig after swig, they were refreshing. And day 1 flowed into day 2, and with so much juice to swish and swallow, I didn't really feel hungry. Some of the cleansing symptoms you might experience, headaches, nausea, swollen glands, also sound like signs of the flu. It's pretty impressive to sell a product that when it makes you feel crummy, it means it's working. But that's probably part of the appeal. I began to question the endeavor more when I read the company's descriptions of the juices. One linked to a website called cayennepepper.info. The spice enthusiast and webmaster, Glenn, seemed earnest in his pepper appreciation. But can I really trust the health assessments of a website called cayennepepper.info? Yet, so many before me had pledged their loyalty to this blessed juice dispensary. Maybe the fountain of youth is really a natural juice press. Throughout the celery and cucumber deluge, I seemed to be functioning pretty well. I made more typos than usual, and started experiencing some foot cramps. But I didn't really feel any cravings, at least not while I was awake. On the last night of the cleanse, I dreamt that friends and I were sitting around the backyard of my childhood home. Then, a bunch of wild cats started roving around. We were pretty calm about this situation, though, and talked about lunch instead. Then, I spied a mountain lion by a nearby bush, and decided I should eat him raw. I stood up, dusted off my jeans, and started walking over to my prey. My semi-vegetarian self wanted to take down this big cat, but I woke up before capturing my entree. I went to the kitchen and ripped into a plum instead. I'd made it through the 3-day journey just in time, completing a quest that might even impress my favorite zucchini seller. But it wasn't quite over with the final juice. Just as I said goodbye to each food group to prepare for the cleanse, I said hello to them again, one by one, slowly, lest I risk exploding. The first day, I was only allowed raw fruits and vegetables. As much as I loved chewing again, I would have shot a mountain lion for a single saltine. However, I was allowed to add avocado to my salad, which felt like winning the produce lottery, one buttery green bite at a time. A few days later, I was eating most foods, and I relished coming back to the world of social meals and kitchen experimentation. I even had a couple of drinks for my birthday. A mojito is sort of cleansing if it has cucumbers in it, right? Part euphoria, part delirium, my juicing helped me renew in time for 30. I purged some habits and thoughts, along with those toxins, I hope. I also recognized what from my younger self I wanted to retain, and maybe even savor. I kept one empty juice bottle as a memento from the last wild days of my 20s. Now, instead of cayenne pepper tonic, it holds a pair of snapdragons on my desk. Maybe next year I'll dye my hair green, but just a streak. But then again, that might be too much like celery, cucumber, and spinach.